It's not a good thing. Once we have any suspect trees that canopy dieback, sign of an egg laying site, we see some leaves being fed on, especially if there's any frass coming out, then we get a tree climber out there. Either federal tree climber or a state certified tree climber. And if we don't have one, we can get out there in a timely fashion. We might be calling you up to climb that tree here in the Buffalo area and paying for your time and your talent. Okay? If you have a bucket truck and we can get you up in a bucket truck, we also do that too. But basically, we find that for every find we find on the ground with a confirmation, the tree climbers, the bucket trucks get up there, they'll find 8 or 10. They're much more effective getting on top of and looking down at the canopy of the tree than we are on the ground trying to look on 3 or 4 different sides of the tree without getting hit by a passing automobile or biker or something else. So basically that's what we're basically are doing when it comes to age-longer beetle. If there's any suspect, beetlebuster.com, and you have suspect life stages, we'll get someone out there to climb that tree or all your adjacent trees and investigate where it is, where it's coming from, okay? Up until now, ironically enough, I haven't mentioned it, age-longer beetle was found by the citizen, the residents. It wasn't an arborist, it wasn't a landscaper, it wasn't the state horticulture inspector, and it wasn't the U.S. Forest Service inspector or official out there. It was a homeowner that noticed his or her trees were dying in their backyard, happened to find this big glossy bug when they were out sunbathing or on the hood of their car or the windshield of their car, collected it, looked it up on the website, and found this USDA warning. If you see this bug, let me hear from you. We didn't look at it. It's happened in Canada too. The Canada find was not found by professionals, it was found by residents. Curious enough to collect the bug and call us up. So, not that I want to find ALB in Buffalo, but if it does show up, I'd much rather have a professional turn it in than another resident. Try to break that trend we have going right now. Our treatment effort, as was mentioned by the tree doctor up front here, is been on Long Island. If it's a valuable tree, a Japanese maple, a well-established and well-historical maple tree or elm tree or willow tree, we will and have been treating it with USDA forest money, working with injectors, various different commodities, either injecting the Mojets into the trunk or into the root system. And pressure fertilizing, treating it that way. And it's been very successful. We've saved a lot of trees and protected a lot of trees that way. And it continues being a process that they still do. What we found was using the Mojet version was very, very time consuming and not cost effective. We had to pay people literally to sit there and watch until the Mojet finished, and that was not good use of professional time or even individuals to watch it. So it basically went to injection, power injection to the root system. But again, this has been a practice that we do to try to save it here in New York. Once we have an exit hole, that tree is considered infested. We don't try to wait for the treatment to be boosted up or try to increase it. We basically work with eradication and removal of that tree. So basically this is real quickly to show you the number of trees that we've taken. It's been dwindling down here in New York, less and less every year. But historical trees like this one, were felled in much the distress of a lot of the neighborhood that was there. But when you get a tree that big, it's pretty catastrophic. But you can't save it, it's so big and so full of insects. All the, anyone that's certified haulers, certified arborists that are removing these trees, hauling this wood, and chipping the wood, has to be certified with USDA on Long Island, as well as our ag and markets inspectors down there. Basically, these marshalling yards are where they just sit for a very short period of time before the grinder comes in and grinds them all up, and then sends them off to a burning plant somewhere. The stumps are chipped out because even the root flare can vector a larva for a length of time, so basically remove those, chip those out, and then there has been some effort to reforest. We don't just don't have the funds, state or federal funds, to replace every single tree that's cut down, in New York, but basically for every 10 trees that are cut down, one is replanted in a strategic place along that street line or that park. So using U.S. Forest Service money, trees have been planted, and in almost all the communities that ALB has been damaging, and a little bit on the emerald ash borer trees. But you can see here a good example of what happens when Asian longhorn beetle comes in and infests the trees. The trees are cut, and the replanting that goes on. There's quite a catastrophic change of that canopy that people enjoyed for shade and for comfort and street-lined trees along their community. That really changes the whole mentality there. So we're basically looking for your involvement, your being aware of the signs of ALB. If you have any suspect sighting in your backyard, in your neighborhood, in the course of your work, please let us know. We're not going to take it lightly. We're going to investigate it. If you collect us a beetle or larva, some life stage, we'll take custody of that, get it in the hands of Rick Hovak for your confirmation. Because every new county that is confirmed positive for ALB or EAB must have a vouchered sample at Cornell University. That's why those insects are always sent to Rick Hovak. And then once they're kept there as a vouchered sample, it says yes, it was ALB or emerald ash borer. Those trees are removed, cut down, and a much more exhaustive survey will be kicked in. Okay? Any questions?